Hello, friends. It's Chop. We can get him over the line.
I think that is the plan for now because they can't come together to create any alternative. They have to just follow their meal ticket wherever it goes. And right now, since he is saying he's running again, and there's no organized opposition, then they just got to go with that. And that means, refurbishing his chassis every 3,000 miles.
I think the midterms are Brandon singing for his supper. I
Yeah,
think it like if I mean look, if they like hold slash even add a seat to the Senate and like stem the losses in the House, then it's like okay, you're getting Joe again in 2 years.
yeah.
But if it's
And I
like
think
that,
honestly, at this
yeah.
point, I mean, who knows? Don't let it. You have to assume like conditions that we can't predict. But assuming a relatively stable economic situation over the next 3 months, I think they actually might end up not getting their ass kicked that bad. And definitely, I think at this point, you got to look at it as like 2010, where even during the Tea Party wave, they still were unable to get back the Senate because part of the uh, deal with getting a grassroots wave is that you end up nominating people who are too ahead of the curve for Senate, where you can't depend on gerrymandered districts. You got to appeal to a whole constituency, and then you end up losing otherwise winnable, which I think is what's going to happen to them in the Senate.
Well,
So yeah, we
yeah,
might get Joe a chance for Joe to run for reelection. Which, oh my God, imagine.
yeah, but like I mean, I don't even think like they don't even have anything like new. You know what I mean? Like they don't. There's no new energy or new idea.
No,
There's no. They don't even have like a new fun crazy guy like Herschel Walker, but he's going to be one of the guys who loses in the Senate.
yeah,
Um, I think. Yeah, I want to say I called it. Everyone's congratulating me for the midterms that haven't happened yet. That the Democrats aren't going to do like as shitty as everyone thought they would in like March.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like okay, it's hard to ignore 3/4 of respondents saying they want someone besides Joe. It's hard to ignore
Insane,
that.
unprecedented,
75%.
Insane. That's
75% of
insane.
never happened
Democrats.
before.
That's
Yeah, but
nuts.
okay, so like, yeah, they'll say that in a poll though, but like, give them some other options, and they'll be like, "Oh no, no, not for me. No,
Yeah.
can't have that." Yeah.
Also, they're
No, I mean, like, what are you
Democrats.
gonna do? What are you gonna do? As soon as they're given a real other option, like, okay, like here's who we got, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh no, this porridge is too warm."
Right. I mean, like, if you, I feel like maybe they'll elevate Kamala as like the only choice. Like, no, 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 no. You don't get JB. You don't get Gavin. You get this weird lady. Um, I don't know. Like, it's also like these are Democrats. They do what they're told.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the thing.
I just think
They
they're gonna.
only with this party and this constituency could you have that guy just waltz to a renomination, which is unless somebody like plants a flag and actually has a plan to challenge him, is what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so Democrats are particularly interesting. And it's an interesting base because the main thing that the base cares about is electability. They
Yeah,
have so internalized the games of the consultants and the ad buyers that run the party that they're like, oh no, that's me too.
yeah.
They're like the dogs watching Models Inc. They think they're the Models Inc. And and I feel like most of the people who want Joe out of there, most of the Democrats, they think he's unelectable. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could be convinced otherwise for
It's interesting. Like if you look at the demographic breakdown of Democrats who say they want somebody else, younger people say he sucks, like comprehensively, but older people just say he's too old. And
Mhm.
that is the one thing that might lead to somebody being able to effectively challenge him is that because he is so comically elderly, it gives Democrats who are otherwise totally committed to being on the team and not rocking the boat and certainly not questioning the direction of the organization, give them a permission to be like, okay, we love everything about the administration. It is going great. All the geniuses are doing the right thing. You don't realize that we're running against a freaking fascist, a damn Cheeto, but he's 90. He's 9 million. He's falling apart. His ears just fell off, and then that gives them permission to maybe give somebody else a hearing, so that option, the opening is there, but the real question is whether there is any institutional capacity within the Democratic Party to make anything of it.
I think what they need to do with Biden is you know that filter that's like on Snapchat that people run movies through, like Heat and A Few Good Men, where they have like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with
yeah,
the,
they,
the giant
yeah,
eyeballs.
they're sort of like
Yeah.
the big cartoon face. They just need to like put that filter on all of his TV appearances, so he just always looks kind of surprised, like Hank Azaria in the funny Google Eye Snapchat filter face. Or, like I said, plastic surgery after plastic surgery after plastic surgery. He should be looking like Michael Cimino, basically. He should be looking like that by now. And I just said, like, just keep getting it stapled back. He's like Joe at the plastic surgeon office, and they're upselling him every time. They're like, Joe, that True Coat will really keep the weather off your face. And then he's like, yeah, listen, Mac, you're a goddamn liar. They're
Yeah.
just
They take like the like pitiful back fat he still has off of his love handles and just like inject it right into his dick. They've just upsold him on things he doesn't even need. He has a big leaking like fat and silicone cock while he's stumbling around a press conference.
give him a BBL, give him a butt injections, give him a big
Yeah.
old kid like Kim Kardashian ass.
BBL, dick weights, give him
Oh, like
fillers.
the things where you like inject like silicone into your balls so they
Yes.
get gigantic. Oh,
Yes.
like the sort of puffy nipples.
Yes. Pec implants.
What's that oil that you're putting synthol or whatever to get the
Yeah,
giant chunky
synthol.
muscles? Give him those
Yeah.
too, so you just look jacked.
Oh yeah. I don't know why not, because it's like, well, you're already like killing him. You're
Yeah, we're
already
deep
like
in the uncanny valley. We're not escaping from the uncanny valley. We might as well play around in here like it's a fucking open world video game. Let's see how nutty we can get with it.
The Joe
Yeah.
Biden character select screen, like like the sort of like upping all
Just go Monster Factory on Joe Biden.
Well, actually, it's just a little bit of Biden administration news. I wanted to briefly touch on. Biden administration plans for legal psychedelic therapies within 2 years. How about that? How about them apples?
It's never like now. It's always within 2 years.
It's a
fast as
promise
they
of
can
like,
do it.
we'll make this world livable one way or the other eventually by giving you the necessary psychedelics to cope with your intractable position.
In 2 years.
It just says here in the letter obtained by The Intercept, Assistant Secretary Delphin Rittman said that the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, or SAMHSA, wow, that's interesting, like Gregor Samsa. Interesting. Responding to Dean on behalf of Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra, agrees that too many Americans are suffering from mental health and substance use issues, which have been exacerbated by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, and that we must explore the potential of psychedelic assisted therapies to address this crisis. Now, look, I think my position on this and the Chapo Trap House official position on the use of psychedelic drugs, I think should be pretty well established by now. However, I must express mild skepticism at the idea of FDA approved and then commercially marketed psychedelic drugs being used as a tool to combat the mental health crisis. I'm just going to say I am a bit concerned about where this could lead.
Yeah, no, I mean they will find a way to make these things like dangerous and horrifying and habit forming. There's no one I trust less with these things than Pfizer or anyone.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, they're already pretty dangerous. Yes, my position is a well-administered dose of psychedelics about once a year under very controlled conditions can be very psychologically healthy. But it is not something I would ever recommend to someone who is struggling with mental health issues or severe depression.
Yeah,
unless
it's
it's
like,
a
man,
surprise.
I really hate my job.
Wait, unless you don't tell them.
Don't worry about it, dude. Just here, have a 4-pack of DMT gummies that you can take to work with you, so you can have a psychotic break at Pep Boys.
Well, I don't even think it's gonna be that. I feel like it's gonna be like they're going to put like a quarter of a microdose in a pill. That's one way they're gonna do it. Another way they're gonna do it.
That's like, hey, you're being you're getting psychedelic therapy, and then you're just kind of like, yeah, I guess I am for as long as that placebo effect lasts.
Yeah, that's one way it could go. The other way it could go, the fun way, is just like they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and just give people like the equivalent of like 9 mushroom caps in one pill.
Yeah, like the way edibles are in Amsterdam, where they're just like, yeah,
Yeah,
we don't fucking know what's in this brownie. Here, take it. And then
yeah,
you go through the Stargate like an hour later. So yeah, they're like, yeah, take some LSD, it'll be fine. Or like Felix, like you said, the really fun way, just have the FDA start dosing people without them knowing it. Just put it in the water supply. Every town in America randomly, like a week by week, just gets selected for the LSD mind
Yeah.
experiment.
You add
yes.
it in with the fluoride.
Well, like I think it should go in existing medications. Like who are the least chill people by medication? People who need to take high blood pressure medication. Who needs LSD the most? Them.
The
Mm.
elderly.
Yeah, the elderly, people suffering from high blood pressure, people with that type of skin cancer that you can treat with lotion who never stop talking about it.
But like, yeah, like I mean, I mean, like I already get advertised like ketamine that's like sold on like your Instagram ads that are like sort of like the Blue Chew or Hims products, where it's like hair loss, boners, and then now like tranquilizers. So,
Yeah,
and again, like what's this shit about? Like, okay, obviously I'm in favor of legalizing psychedelics. I don't think we should legalize psychedelics because they're some sort of panacea to cure the mental health crisis. I
Yeah.
think if anything, it'll make it far, far worse.
Well, yeah. I
Because
mean, any solution that that we could actually apply to any problem is just another problem that then can have money be made for the solution to that one, which is then another problem that then gets another very expensive solution to it, and it just creates a uh, a fucking tower of babel of reinforcing pathologies and crises that are just slowly and steadily crushing everyone under their weight.
but like, okay, and maybe in 2 years' time, they will look into legalizing psychedelics for like therapeutic purposes, and just like turn over the Jolly West laboratory to Pfizer and Moderna, and like all our good friends in the pharmaceutical industry. But like, how about just descheduling marijuana now? Like, how about that?
Legalize it.
I mean, like, isn't that like just a shorter step to go, like to do more good? I mean, if you're going to say mushrooms and LSD can help therapeutically with people's mental health, then certainly ganja from the earth, certainly that can have some ameliorative properties on how stressed out and fucking anxious people are. So a little bit of weed here and every now and again.
You got to be able to throw people in jail for something.
Felix, do you think that we should? And I know your feelings on marijuana, Felix. Do you think that
Yeah.
should be descheduled or not?
I feel like it should be a punishment for people with the most annoying mental illnesses. But no, like obviously, I think even like our current like California system for marijuana is like too annoying. I feel like you should just be able to buy it at CVS, like liquor. I don't feel like you should have to go to a special store. You know, I'm for full legalization of everything, which is like that's what really all of this shit is. It's like concessions for life being shittier, for like
Yeah.
the middle class
Yeah.
bargain of America not being the same thing that it used to be. But if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna like roll the curtains back and change the parameters of acceptability, why not just make it so that you can like buy everything at the gas station? In my opinion, you're wasting time on the way down by pretending.
I mean, I guess
I,
like
yeah,
I mean,
deschedule it all, get rid of the DEA. Fuck it.
yeah, yeah, okay, like yeah, if you're talking about cutting government wasteful spending, obviously
Yeah.
get rid of the DEA. I mean, well, actually, if we got rid of the DEA, it'd probably be harder to buy drugs in America because they exist to import drugs into them. The Drug Enforcement Administration exists to facilitate the flow of narcotics into America, to keep the price down, to keep the supply high.
Yeah.
And
No.
honestly, they've been doing great. They've been doing a great job with it, and I hope they
Yeah.
keep it up. But I don't know. I mean, like, I think just like descheduling drugs, like, I don't think that all needs to be legalized in the sense that, like you were saying, Felix, you could buy them all at CVS. But like, I think the harder drugs, I think like it should be legal though, and should be arrested for buying or selling them. But I think like there should be a little bit of a hurdle to entry, and that you have to know a guy.
Okay, I agree with that.
You
I agree with that.
you have
Yeah.
to call a guy or go on the internet or something. So it's not just like as simple as swiping your debit card.
I
Have
do
a
think
little bit of an informal economy that regulates this kind of thing.
I do think, I mean, just for like aesthetic sake, I do think it would be like a little bit depressing if you didn't, there wasn't some like art and process for buying heroin. If it was just like buying a garden hose, that would be like a little sad for heroin users.
Let me get moving on from psychedelics. I know you guys clocked this story. This is probably my favorite news story of the week. It's a local story for me here in Brooklyn. You know where I'm going with this. Brooklyn clergyman is robbed while delivering Sunday sermon. A trio of armed individuals robbed Lamar M. Whitehead and his wife of more than $1 million, police said. This happened here in Brooklyn on Sunday. Armed men robbed a pastor at gunpoint while he was on the pulpit on Sunday and snatched off him $1 million worth in jewelry. $1 million worth in
Oh
jewelry.
man. If
And it
you're
says
if
here,
you're a, if you're a pastor with $1 million of ice on you, you must just go immediately to the extra VIP section of hell.
Yeah.
it
Just like
says
the most bespoke tortures, the most
a show
elegant miseries
a,
possible.
sh- a showy pastor who was in the middle of delivering his sermon and his wife were robbed at gunpoint of more than $1 million worth of jewelry at a Brooklyn church on Sunday, the police said. The heist was caught on a live stream video of the service. Lamar M. Whitehead, 44, a bishop of at Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries in the southeast Brooklyn neighborhood of Canarsie, spoke about the armed robbery in an Instagram post, calling it an example of how the devil moves. The devil don't care. He sent them, Mr. Whitehead said. He did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Mr. Whitehead, an ally of Mayor Eric Adams, who had appeared publicly with him on occasion, describes himself as having been adopted by Mr. Adams as a mentee.
I love it. I love it when like a 61-year-old adopts a 52-year-old.
That's great. That's
The
how
most beautiful
best Roman
relationship in the
emperors
world.
did it that way. You adopt a
Yeah.
grown man as your heir.
I like that Protestants and Catholics, enough time has passed that they can both dress like Liberace now.
Well, not if the woke Pope Francis has any say in it.
He's still, come on. He's still
Oh,
like,
he likes to dress
yeah,
up.
he loves it. He's still,
He's a fancy
yeah.
lad. Yeah, he doesn't
Okay.
have those Louis Vuitton slippers that Benedict did, but he still knows how to get dripped out.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
he
you guys,
still wears like a tiara.
Yeah.
you guys, okay, you two. I know you guys have left New York, but you have not been attending the schismatic ministry of that I have been recently, and they're talking about Pope Antichrist. He wore an indigenous headdress in Canada the other day. That's Satan.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the devil.
That's devilry. He sent those fucking gunmen to rob that dude because he wanted those jewels
Yeah.
to give to the victims of residential schools in Canada. Probably.
Yeah.
That's That's Pope Antichrist for you.
Can we get a Pope in Avignon, please? This guy stinks.
This is there's a follow up to the Brooklyn pastor story. It says Brooklyn pastor robbed during sermon, stole parishioners' savings. Lawsuit said.
No.
No
Court
way.
papers
He got that $1 million worth of ice by praying on it, I thought.
The Brooklyn pastor who says he was robbed in the middle of giving his Sunday sermon stole $90,000 in retirement savings from one of his own parishioners. A lawsuit filed last year in Brooklyn Supreme Court alleges. I mean, God damn it! If you can't trust a man of God with $1 million worth of jewelry on him not to bilk the life savings out of his elderly parishioners, then what can you trust?
And this
Yeah.
guy, honestly, hearing about that, it's like he's lucky that these guys just wanted his jewels because we know for a fact now that there's another option for people whose families have been ripped off by religious groups, and it is making your own homemade firearm and going to town on them.
Yeah. Did you see that this guy, like before he was a pastor, he did 5 years for identity theft?
No.
Yeah. This
Well,
guy's awesome.
This
This
how the
guy's
devil moves.
amazing.
Starting from the bottom, now we're here.
I don't know. How did he like get parishioners? Is he just like very charismatic?
Presumably.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, the word of God, Felix. It's a message.
Okay,
It sort of sells itself.
I guess he doesn't always send a perfect man.
When you preach the Gospels, if you preach it, they will come. And when they do come, you get those pensions, get that Social Security checks, get it all.